Good morning, traders from whichever side of the country world you're watching me from. Welcome to today's morning market call. Janelle the first. Thank you for being the first one to join the live session. My name is Ian Joseph, once again, market analyst at HFM. Quick disclaimer before we do begin. The information herein is only meant for educational and informative purposes only. None of it shall be construed as investment advice. Trading the financial markets do carry a degree of risk, but no worry, I'm here to help you look at the markets the right way. We do have the score and raw competition currently ongoing, and Africa, this is our time. We have an opportunity to the score and raw competition. We traders have an opportunity to take home a brand new BMW 4 Series. Not only that, a UK Premier League trip for two, all expenses paid for. 4 winners are going to be gifted a 55-inch TV. 20 winners are going to be gifted official EPL football jerseys of their choice. And 60 traders are going to be credited $200 each into their account. I would want to start the morning market call looking at where we've come from, especially Friday, where we did have non-farm payrolls. And this is one of the most important news releases for us as traders, because it looks at how the employment situation is currently at the moment in the United States. Now, we were looking at employment numbers for December. The previous number was revised down from 64,000 to 56,000 jobs. We were looking at a forecast of 60,000 jobs being created, and the number actually came in lesser than anticipated at 50,000. If I do click on the NFP and then read official report, this is the official document that was released at that particular moment in time. And looking at the numbers, only 50,000 jobs once again were created, and the unemployment rate did stand at 4.4%, which changed a little in December, signaling that the employment situation in the United States is not currently as we would have anticipated. Now, in an economy of more than 300 million people, 50,000 jobs is relatively a drop of blood in the ocean. Looking at the statistics currently, at the moment, we have a high percentage of looking at the labor force participation rate, it only stands at 62.4%, and the employment population ratio is at 59.7%, which once again did change little in December. Looking at this information, we did see, okay, the United States numbers in terms of employment did come out negatively. And we are going to look at the chart. What happened to gold? What is happening to gold currently at the moment? Now, looking at the economic calendar today at exactly 4 a.m., this is Nairobi time, we did have Federal Chair Jerome Powell releasing a speech, and quite interesting. We want to look at what did he talk about and why did the markets move as a result. This is the official statement that was released Sunday, this was Sunday Eastern time, but looking at Nairobi time, this was 4 a.m. in the morning. And I would want us to go back in time, look at how they started. And this is a video I would want to share with you. This is a video that I did record a few months back, and this is how it started.
In inspecting the building and ongoing renovations.
We're looking at the construction, and we're with the chairman, as you know. Chairman, come on over. And we're just taking a look at what's happening. You know, it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed, one of the reasons I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expensive.
Toxic.
Figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody from Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
I noticed that at about 3.1 as well.
So this is where it all started, where Mr. Donald J. Trump did accuse Mr. Jerome Powell of having constructed and it did go well over budget. And as a result, this is the statement. He has been prosecuted. There are charges that are against him currently at the moment. And he did mention about the Fed has been served from the Justice Department subpoenas as Powell vows does to stand firm. Now, his term as chair is due to expire in May of this year, at which time Trump's chosen successor can take his place, although Powell can remain on the Fed's Board of Governors until 2028. As a result of what happened last year in July, we have been seeing the independence of the Fed Reserve being tested, and we are looking at currently what's happening ongoing as a result of the statement that was released earlier today. And he does mention he does have respect for the rule of law and for accountability in the democracy. Now, looking at this information, he has served the Fed Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans, Democrats alike in every case. He has carried out his duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on the mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Now, public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats, as he does mention. He does say he will continue to do the job. All the Senate confirmed him to do so with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Now, looking at this information, prices did move quite aggressively. Not only that, we will want to look at what's happening in Iran currently at the moment, where there's mass killings reported as security forces are allegedly using live fire on Iran protesters. Now, we are looking at nearly 500 protesters being killed and over 10,000 people being detained, and these is moving the markets. Have you heard about the Refer a Friend program? You have an opportunity to invite your friends to join HFM, and for each successful referral, enjoy a cash reward of up to $200. Kindly go over to the bonuses and promotion segment. Kindly go look at it, understand how it works, and join the program. I would want to switch gears to the charts, starting off with the precious metal on gold. Now, we did see gold make all-time highs. Now, looking at Friday, starting off with the analysis where we did do the morning market call was around this particular period in time where prices was neither making clear higher highs, prices was neither making clear lower lows, prices were indeed ranging. And looking at last week was the first full week of trading for 2026. We did see prices gap to the upper side. This was the result of Venezuela. Prices did move to the upper side to form a high. We had a short-term retracement to form a low, pulling a Fibonacci from this high to this, from this low to this high. We did see prices test on the 50 region, and we were anticipating further impulses to the upper side. Now, when non-farm payroll was released, we did see the numbers come out negative for the United States dollar, and gold digested this data positively. Looking at what we are digesting in the markets currently at the moment in relation to Iran, in relation to Venezuela, Jerome Powell's speech, we did anticipate gold moving further to the upper side. We did have a breakout on this region, a retest during New York session, and prices did close well above the opening price. Now, looking at Asian session today, the first 2 hours of the trading day was quite intense, where gold prices did gap also to the upper side, and we did see prices move almost 2% to the upper side. This is equivalent to 924 pips to be exact, in from the closing price of Friday to the highs that was formed during Asian session, as institutions, traders alike are looking at more net long opportunities on gold prices. Currently at the moment, as it stands, it is the start of the weekly session. I would want to be very careful looking at how prices has formed this high. If we do break and close above this region, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities to the upper side, whereas on the other hand, if we do break to the downside, I will consider looking at prices coming back to a region of importance, a psychological level around $4,500 an ounce. If we do come back to that region, we do see signs of buyers still in the markets. I will consider looking at net long opportunities further to the upper side. Silver has done really good also. ever since the year did begin. And looking at it, we have looked at silver. Just to put it into perspective, ever since the year did begin, the first candlestick of the year, which was this particular region, to where we are trading at the moment, silver has moved more than 14.5% to the upper side in less than 124 hours of trading. This is equivalent to 10,700 points to the upper side. We did see also silver make an all-time high during Asian session today. If we do have a retracement back into the $82 an ounce, which is a psychological level, and we did have a region of resistance forming a while back, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities further to the upper side. Looking at Friday's analysis, beautiful once again, a breakout to the upper side, a retest on that region, and we did see silver explode further to the upper side. Looking at oil prices, we were anticipating a lot of volatility on oil, and indeed we have seen the market starting to react to the geopolitical tensions, what's happening currently at the moment. We did see prices make an high. This was Thursday. Friday, we had a short-term retracement. NFP came out negative. We did see oil prices break out of the region of resistance that we were looking at around $58.9 a barrel. Now prices moved aggressively to the upper side, but it didn't tap into the $60 a barrel. I will consider looking at how prices are going to approach $60 a barrel on oil prices in the near future. Currently, at the moment, we are seeing this region of support still holding. At the moment, we had price action moving back to the downside during Asian session, but we do see signs of buyers trying to push the markets to the upper side. We are having a trend line, if I can put it, from Friday's highs to the opening candlestick of the day, and looking at how pre-London is currently forming. If we do break this trend line with a clear direction to the upper side, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities to the upper side on black gold. We are looking toxic. Beautiful. Wangai wants us to look at USD JPY, the dollar against the Japanese yen. We have seen the Nikkei. Now, when we are looking at the Japanese yen, I usually like to start looking at the Nikkei 225, which is the benchmark of how the Japanese yen is performing. Now, beautiful stuff. Look at this price action where we did see a lot of activity on Friday. Now, looking at Japan is considered a safe haven against the United States dollar. When the USD is weakening, we usually do see the Nikkei move to the upper side. And as a result, this was during the NFP release. When the NFP came out negative for the United States, we did see the Nikkei move quite aggressively to the upper side. Putting it into perspective, ever since the opening price of the day to the final candle, the Nikkei 225 jumped almost 4% to the upper side in less than 22 hours of trading. We have seen signs of buyers during Asian session. Currently, at the moment, if we do break these highs around this particular region, this is around the 54,000 mark on the Nikkei 225. I will consider looking at more net long opportunities to the upper side. But on the other hand, if we do break below these lows, I will consider looking at shorting opportunities potentially for prices coming and filling inefficiencies that were left behind on last week's trading. Now, looking at the USD against the JPY, the dollar against the Japanese yen, we were looking at a region of interest last week. We did see prices breaking a region of resistance that was formed on 5th of January, clearly breaking out to the upper side, having a retest, and we did break even more resistance to the upper side, signaling that yes, indeed, buyers are strong in the market. Now, we are looking at USD JPY. At the moment, as it stands, we do have this region that I want to pay close attention to. Considering it is Monday, the start of the weekly candle, I would want to be very careful, considering if I can take you back slightly to this week on the economic calendar. Tomorrow we are anticipating inflationary numbers. We do anticipate CPI numbers to be exact, consumer price index coming out tomorrow, which we do anticipate inflation to pick up in the United States as per the forecast. Currently, as it stands, we do have climate count change. This is employment for the British pound. But during New York session, we are going to have CPI numbers, and looking at the core CPI, which excludes food and energy, currently at the moment does stand at 0.2%. We are looking at a forecast of 0.3%, meaning we are anticipating inflation to pick up in the United States economy. The actual number has not yet been released, and this is going to move prices aggressively tomorrow during New York session. This is going to be exactly at 4:30. Then come Wednesday, we are going to have PPI numbers, which is producer price index, which currently at the moment, the previous number does stand at 2.6%. We don't have a forecast, and the actual number has not yet been released, which could potentially move prices aggressively. I would want to switch gears to look at Euro USD. We did see Euro USD have a long-term trend last week. It had been trending for the major part of last week, but we have seen signs of buyers coming into the markets during Asian session today, and this is quite aggressive, and this is the result of what's happening in the United States, especially the fight back that we are seeing, or the Fed Reserve to Mr. Donald J. Trump in relation to the charges that are there against him currently at the moment, with the building renovations that were happening last year for the Fed government, for the Fed buildings, essentially, where they had an initial budget of 2.7 billion, but they went over budget to up to more than 3.1 billion dollars, and Mr. Trump was not happy about it, considering he has been telling Jerome Powell to lower interest rates for a majority of the time. We are looking at Euro USD. All of the markets currently at the moment are looking at the United States dollar being a little bit shaky. What is going to be the response from Mr. Trump? What is he going to do as a result of every information that we are receiving currently at the moment? Greenland is not out of the topics yet. We are looking at also potential of tensions between Russia and the United States, where over the weekend we did see a vessel being escorted by the Russian military being taken over by the United States in conjunction with Britain. What is going to happen? Looking at equities, starting off with the US 500, we did see prices aggressively move to the downside during Asian session today, with the negativity that we did see as a result of Jerome Powell's comments and remarks, essentially, for the Fed Reserve, whereby they do have immunity. They have sought immunity from the Senate, and they would continue their work irregardless of the tensions or political persuasions from the government of the United States of America. I would want to look at more incoming data. Currently, at the moment, as it stands, it's going to be a macro week. We shall be focusing more on news releases, as it is going to be released to us as traders. Once again, we are going to pay attention to inflationary numbers. That's going to be the highlight of the week. We want to look at how consumers are spending in the United States of America. We will also want to look at how producers are producing in the United States of America, and potentially this could set the tone for the week and also for the month ahead. Looking at equities, digesting the data negatively, not only on the US 500. When you look at the tech-heavy NASDAQ also, we did see the NASDAQ lose quite aggressively ever since Asian session did open. From Friday's closing price to where we are trading currently at the moment, the NASDAQ is down 0.76% on the daily time frame. Looking at the US 30, currently trading below 50K, and we did find a region of resistance around this particular region. We are retesting on the 50-period moving average. If we do see signs of buyers coming into the markets and the data tomorrow does come out positive, we would anticipate the Dow Jones Industrial Average to continue moving further to the upper side. The metals are doing really good. When we look at copper currently at the moment, copper is trading. These are the futures. This is copper futures. It is trading above $6 an ounce. Currently at the moment, we did see buyers into the markets, and prices did move from the closing price of Friday to where we are trading currently at the moment. Prices are up 2.1% to the upper side on copper, signaling that yes, indeed, there could be more momentum to the upper side. I would anticipate prices of copper potentially hitting around 6.0, let's say $6.1 an ounce in the near future. Quite interesting. Looking at the British pound against the United States dollar, considering we are anticipating employment numbers coming out for the British pound tomorrow, I would want to look at more information, new information. How are we going to see the labor markets in the United Kingdom? Are there going to be more jobs being created? Are jobs being lost in the British region? Now, at the moment, we did see buyers drive the markets to the upper side. Once again, every asset against the dollar right now is strengthening. as a result of the tensions that we are seeing happen political-wise, geopolitical tensions at the moment. GBP/USD has moved quite aggressively from the opening price of today's session to where we are trading. GBP/USD is up almost 50 pips. This is 0.37% of its total value. If we do close well above this region of resistance that was formed sometime, this was the start of Friday during Asian session before the non-farm payroll was released. If we do have a clear bullish candle and the data does come out negative for the United States tomorrow, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities, potentially prices retracing and recovering what was lost during the entire of last week trading session. If there are no assets, any more assets that you would want me to look into, Wangai, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the love that you do show for the live sessions. This is the time for me to pitch in about the Shield 500 account. We traders have an opportunity to.
Mimi ni kijana wa Kimasai. Kama vile Mmasai anapotumia ngao kama ulinzi kwenye jamii yake, ndivyo hivyo HFM tunakuletea Shield 500. Hii inafanya vipi kazi? Wewe kama mteja mpya wa HFM unapofungua account leo na kuchagua Shield 500 kama account yako, Masai anapotumia ngao kwanza usiozidi $500 utakaoweka kwenye account ile, utakuwa insured endapo utapata hasara yoyote ndani ya siku 25 za kwanza za kutrade. HFM itarejesha ile hasara uliyoipata ili uzidi kutrade. Ofa hii inapatikana ndani ya siku 10 tu baada ya kufungua account. Fungua account leo, anza leo, mtaji wako umelindwa. HFM Shield 500. See you in the trading room.
Indeed, you have an opportunity to open the Shield 500 account. Whatever money you do deposit within the first 10 days of trading, if you do incur any losses within the first 25 days essentially of trading, we are going to back you up to $500 in tradable funds. Basically, you are going to trade real market conditions risk-free. That's going to be it for me. Once again, my name is Ian Joseph, market analyst at HFM. May the pips be with you.